Hi, this is Ryan Bell, and today I'm going to talk about hit or miss transformations. So, what is hit or miss? So, hit or miss is a technique used to find shapes, generally speaking, to find shapes in a binary image, given binary image, of course, a shape and a size. And so, some specific uses in which it may be helpful uh, are to locate like the endpoint in a binary skeleton, or to locate isolated points in a binary image. Um, and so here's some example uses that are helpful. So we have this where we can define the structuring element to find the corners of an image. And below we have some cases, uh, for example, to find the isolated points in a binary image. There's that example. And to find the endpoints in a binary skeleton, you might want to use the structuring element located in, or in position 2, and or picture 2. And to find the triple points or junctions on a skeleton, 3A and 3B might be useful to useful definitions of your structuring elements. And so the prerequisites for understanding hit or miss is basically erosion, structuring element, and an image. You're going to need those three to work with this technique. So here's an example that I found to be quite useful in helping to understand. So given an image A, we have some shapes in there, and we also defined a structuring element on the right, which we call X in this case. And we also defined a window, which will be around the perimeter of X, given by W. And so to find the hit or miss of A, we will take, using the structuring element X, we will take A eroded by X, and that is the bottom grid. That is demonstrated in the bottom grid, which is the output. And then we will also take the intersection of that with A complement eroded by the set W minus X. And so A complement is just the essentially like the inverse of what you see A is. And so that is essentially the formula for finding a hit or miss. So it's written in green there. The formula is A eroded by X, an image A eroded by a structuring element X, intersected by A complement eroded by W minus X. And so you could see the output on the bottom. We found where that structuring element, the shape, is located. And so here's another simple example, but this one's it's really user-friendly and easy to run in MATLAB. So it doesn't have an actual image, but it's very simple to understand the concept. So here we define BW, which is a matrix, and that'll be the image, so to say, and the binary image. And then we have interval, which is essentially that is the structuring element. And then we use BWIT, WHIT miss, with BW, which is the matrix for the image, comma the structuring element interval. And then we see that we found the locations in which those shapes are located with BW2's output. And so, in conclusion, given a structuring element that has a defined shape and a size, one can locate that shape via the hit or miss transformation. And multiple structuring elements can be used with this technique, and I have an example here in which one useful case may be to define two different structuring elements to find maybe different shapes, and one that would take care of the foreground, and the other structuring element may take care of the background. And so you could look at those dimensions and look at them differently however you may want to by defining those structuring elements. And I'll leave this video off with an interesting fact, and that is basically that all other basic morphological operations can be derived from the hit or miss equation. And maybe for a fun exercise, you may want to derive these. So once again, that equation is the one written in green right there. And so if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Thank you.